As with any calligraphic script, the basic exercises and underlying shape structures you need all tend to be simpler forms which we put together to combine to make the letters. So your first port of call is really to look at these basic simplified exercises. One of the things I'd like to impress upon you is to consider that these basic exercises are not just exercises. They are the underlying structure for the letters. So take your time with them and be really patient with them. With all calligraphy, we have basic structure. We have lots of different calligraphic scripts like italic, copperplate, uncials, round hand, cancelleresca, humanist minuscules, and all of these scripts can be adapted to be written with a brush. So understanding what the base script is for your writing is really important because that's where the letters are generated from. So we're going to start off with some basic exercises. The first thing I want you to consider is how are you holding the tool? Ideally, the tool should be held like this. If it's held like this, you end up having to use your fingers rather than more of a wrist movement. So we want to produce a downward stroke from the line to the line. So we'll call this the baseline and this the X height. You can either do one with your fingers. If you use your fingers to make the stroke, accept that there will be a curve in the stroke. Or you can use one with the whole wrist, with the wrist including the arm, and you will get an absolutely straight stroke. So these two things are really important because it will help us to produce a curve or a straight stroke. Notice I'm not holding the tool higher up and pressing. I'm holding the tool lower down and applying a little bit of pressure. The higher up you hold it, the more pressure you have to apply to get a slightly thicker stroke. So your basic stroke, 1, 1, up, press, stop, and lift. Notice the angle that you're going to get at the bottom. We're going to make the stroke a little bit taller. Hairline and down. The next stroke that we look at is the elliptical stroke. Some people also refer to this as an oval stroke. The idea is to get a smooth transition from the top into the stroke. So we have a thin stroke here and a thick stroke here. This is fairly obvious. It'll give us the C and the O. So I'm using a combination of both italic and copperplate script for these exercises. For the purposes of this soft tip, I'm going to stick to an italic structure. So I know the O is based on that. So now we're going to work on some letter structured shapes. So I'm going to stop at the bottom, lift, go back into the tip, press, lift, press. And for the O, I want to go across and under and back and out. Now, the reason I'm looking at this vertically is that's your base practice. We're going to move to a slanted version And there are lots of different ways to approach this. You can press and pull, or you can press and pull and stop and lift, or you can press and pull and lift in. You can press and pull and lift out. You can also press and pull and stop. So we see lots of different initial starting shapes and equally different finishing or finial shapes. This then allows us to move to the next exercise, which is that for the O. And by combining these shapes together, we end up with the basis for the italic brush lettering script.